Hare Krishna. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. At first I want to express my appreciation for being allowed to sit here and being allowed to speak here. It's a great honor for me to sit in this most historic and wonderful transcendental temple in front of all of you, and I'm allowed to speak about the glories of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu and the glories of Srila Prabhupada. My name is Ananda Krishna Das. I'm from Germany. I'm living in Germany in a very nice community, Simhachalam. It's a farm community. We have a nice deity of Prahlad Nrsingadev. And I'm a teacher and communicator of Krishna consciousness in the movement. And yeah, maybe I'll say a little bit more than if necessary later. I want to cover some ground, so time is pressing, so we'll start. So with your blessings and your well wishes, we start the discussion of today. So I will start reading a verse from the Adi Lila about the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then I want to switch to the Jaganath Misra festival as described in the Adi Lila chapter 13. And then I will read some verses and comment on that. And then I try to connect this the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with modern, or not modern, with our spiritual life and maybe Hare Krishna movement in general. And in the end, I want to tell you something about my preaching work in Germany. So a little outline of what we will discuss now. So the verse is the 40th verse from the 4th chapter, called The Confidential Reasons for the Lord's Appearance. Sedvare achandale kirtana sanjare. Sedvare achandale kirtana sanjare. Nama prema mala kanti paraila sangsare. 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 Sedvare achandale kirtana sanchare. Sedvare achandale kirtana sanchare. Nama prema mala kanti paraila sangsare. Nama prema mala kanti paraila sangsare. Sedvare achandale kirtana sanchare. Sedvare achandale kirtana sanchare. Nama prema mala kanti paraila sangsare. Matachis? Sedvare. By that. Achandale. even among the Chandalas. Kirtana, the chanting of the holy names. Sanjare, he infuses. Nama, of the holy names. Prema, and of love of God. Mala, a garland. Ganti, stringing together. Paraila, he put it on. Sangsare, the whole material world. Translation. Thus he spread kirtan even among the untouchables. He wove a wreath of the holy name and prema with which he garlanded the entire material world. There's no purport. This was just to set the mood for what I want to say about Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and I switch now to the 13th chapter, which describes then the appearance more in detail, and Srila Prabhupada will give then also some purport. But it's just as a mood setter, which is a very beautiful verse explaining the mission and the mood of Caitanya Mahaprabhu, where it's here said that he spread kirtan even among the untouchables, achandale. So he was not looking who is qualified and who is unqualified. Everyone should have this gift of the practice of pure devotional service. And he was stringing a garland with the name and love of Godhead, and was garlanding the whole world with this. So this is a nice meditation also for Srila Prabhupada's work, who traveled around the whole world and garlanding the whole world in the mission of Caitanya Mahaprabhu, all the conditioned living entities. So I think it's a very beautiful meditation about Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So as we had yesterday Appearance Day and today the festival of Jaganath Misra, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita is a description of this, and I will go through some verses which beautifully explain about the advent of Mahaprabhu. So the chapter is also called the Advent of Lord Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. And this, more or less, there are 20 verses, so let's see if I can cover all of them, but so that we hear also Srila Prabhupada's words in this regard. Let's see how far we can go. I start with the verse 100. Dekhi uparage hasi, Shri Ganga gate asi, Ananda karaila Ganga snana, Pana uparaga chale, Apanara manubale, Brahmanera dila nana dana. Seeing the lunar eclipse and laughing, Advaitacharya and Haridas Thakur immediately went to the bank of the Ganges and bathed in the river in great jubilation. Taking advantage of the occasion of the lunar eclipse, Advaitacharya, by his mental strength, distributed various types of charity to the Brahmanas. Purport. It is the custom of Hindus to give in charity to the poor as much as possible during the time of a lunar or solar eclipse. Advaitacharya, therefore, taking advantage of this eclipse, distributed many varieties of charity to the Brahmanas. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10.3.11, there is a statement that when Krishna took his birth, Vasudeva immediately took advantage of this moment and distributed 10,000 cows to the Brahmanas. It is customary among Hindus that at the time a child is born, especially a male child, the parents distribute great charity in jubilation. Advaitacharya was actually interested in distributing charity because of Lord Chaitanya's birth at the time of the lunar eclipse. People could not understand, however, why Advaitacharya was giving such a great variety of things in charity. He did so not because of the lunar eclipse, but because of the Lord's taking birth at that moment. He distributed charity exactly as Vasudeva did at the time of Lord Krishna's appearance. Om Agyantimirandasya Yananjana Salakya Chakshomilitamina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayati Kirim Yat Kripatamang Vande Shri Guru Dinataram Sri Caitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamam Dadati Swavadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Caitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in 1486. And at that time there was a full moon and also an eclipse. And at that time all the Hindus were chanting holy names. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in an atmosphere of chanting and great jubilation. Actually, because Mahaprabhu appeared, the whole universe was joyful and everything was very auspicious. And here we hear how Advaitacharya and Haridas Thakur, who were at Shantipur, so quite some distance away from Mayapur, were dancing and chanting in great jubilation, and Advaitacharya gave in charity because of the occasion. And in Mayapur itself, there also where everyone was happy, and especially the next day, because the birth was at night, so next day was the Jaganath Misra festival, meaning that many people came from the surroundings and the great personalities. They came to the house of Jaganath Misra to see the child, and everyone who saw the child was pleased beyond measures. So it was very powerful. The appearance of the Lord was very powerful, and many people came and brought presents and valuable gifts. And it's even said that the demigods appeared in this situation. And the people who came, they recognized only some shadows, and they thought these were some thieves, some mystical thieves who want to steal in the house, and were afraid and were crying, "Thief, thief, thief," and running around and bringing some exorcist brahmana who chanted some mantras. And the people were shouting, Nrsinga, you don't know how powerful Nrsinga is, better go away." They thought these are thieves, these shadows. But actually these were the demigods. And it said even that the demigods want to play some fun even with the people to scare them a bit. But actually why they came, even the demigods came to see the child, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So many people came and brought some gifts. And also in the verse, one second. It said that Malini, the wife of Srivasa Thakur, came, and she brought also valuable gifts. And then Sita Thakurani, the wife of Advaitacharya, came, and she brought far out things, even some tiger nails set in gold, and a whole basket full of very auspicious things like vermilion and kumkum and gold and silver coins. And so in general, what I thought when I was reading this, it was a very joyful occasion, how the whole village and the people from the further area came together to celebrate and take part in the birth of a child. And Srila Prabhupada in the verse, one second. Sorry for this little gap. 106. Not so far. Yeah, I want to read you this purport about these gifts. So the wife of Srivas Thakur, whose name was Malini, accompanied by the wife of Chandrasekhar, Acharya Ratna, and other ladies, came there in great happiness to worship the baby with paraphernalia such as vermilion, turmeric, oil, fused rice, bananas, and coconuts. So Srivas Thakur was living not far away, and also Chandrasekhar Acharya was not living far away. Actually, Chandrasekhar Acharya, he is the uncle of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is married to Sarva Chaya, who is the sister of Shachimata. So he was very closely related to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and was very interested, of course, in the birth of the child. So they came, and she brought wonderful presents. And Srila Prabhupada in the purport explains that this was actually culture, that when a child was born, presents were brought, gifts were brought, auspicious things and very healthy things were brought, which were used to disinfect the child. And then Prabhupada, in the end of the purport, says, generally a pregnant mother is sent like now, how it's done nowadays, sent to the hospital, and as soon as her child is born, he is washed with an antiseptic, and this concludes everything. So Prabhupada puts this in contrast, how nowadays how the birth of a child is not dealt so auspiciously as in this situation, how it's described here. So many people come, bring presents, everyone is happy, and Jaganath Misra is very pleased and gives in charity, and this appearance of the Lord makes everyone happy, which is also the situation for all of us who got this present of Krishna consciousness through Srila Prabhupada's books. In general, how could we know about Caitanya Mahaprabhu? It's the appearance of the Lord, but still we are separated by time and space. But through the scripture, which conserves this information beyond time and space, we are able to get this knowledge and to also get the benefit of Krishna consciousness. I'm doing many interviews with devotees. I have actually a YouTube channel, so I want to document how devotees come to Krishna consciousness. And most of the time, like almost all the time I could say, when devotees tell their stories, it's because of some books of Srila Prabhupada which changed everything. Recently I had an interview here also with one of your senior devotees, and also in his life it was a book of Srila Prabhupada which changed everything and which made his life completely auspicious. So as we saw here, as the Lord appeared and he made the whole universe auspicious, and in the verse it said he was stringing a garland with the name and love of Godhead and garlanding the whole world with it and making everything and everyone auspicious. In the same way, Srila Prabhupada, as the general in his mission, fulfilled this prediction and traveled the whole world, garlanding the whole world with the message of Caitanya Mahaprabhu. And as we know, the books are the Brihad Mridanga. So it's not just that the sound vibration is spread like this, the sound vibration is conserved in the transcendental literature and distributed throughout the whole world. And so the books are garlanding the whole world. We are distributing now like 600 million books since we are doing that, and garlanding the whole world and blessing the whole world with Krishna consciousness. And when the Lord appears then in the heart of a person who reads these books, his life becomes changed and auspicious. And this is what we experienced. Every individual experiences that. And this is what the Hare Krishna movement should do. We should have the Lord in the center. And Srila Prabhupada said in the 13th chapter of the 10th canto, in verse number 8, he said, when a devotee, a pure devotee always sees the Lord in his heart, and when the vision is there, this devotee is always all beautiful in transcendental bliss. So devotees are very beautiful in transcendental bliss. And Srila Prabhupada says then that this is the mission of the Hare Krishna movement, to always keep Krishna in the center. And when Krishna is always in the center and all activities of the movement are focused and targeted in pleasing Krishna, then everyone and everything becomes all beautiful, all auspicious. And also all the activities in the life of devotees become all auspicious and become very effective. So this is of course a great challenge, to always have Krishna in the center. And it's for the movement at large, but also for the small units of the movement like temples or communities. This is what we have to really work on, to put the Lord always in the center and cooperatively work together to please the Lord. So in general, what I wanted to say is that as the Lord appeared and made everything auspicious 530, 4 years ago or something like this, same way the Lord appears through the preaching mission and makes everything auspicious and wonderful. And every one of us has to, as Prabhupada says, tax your brain. Prabhupada said, tax your brain to distribute books. But it's not just for book distribution, it's also for preaching, for everyone's preaching, some or other. We have to have an experience of Krishna consciousness and then try to communicate this to other people. And as Prabhupada said, tax your brain, meaning think about it. How can you, everyone, every individual, some or other give Krishna consciousness to others? But this should not be done in a fanatic way. It has to be in, like, how to say, in a balance between our realization of that what we really understand and that what we just believe in because we read it. Because we could be a little bit too fanatic if we think, oh, I read all these informations, this is what I want to preach now. There should be also a realization go along with that. But I think the statement, tax your brain, as Srila Prabhupada says, is very interesting. Meaning we should think, how could I contribute to the spreading of the Hare Krishna movement? And I have still some time, lots of time. I wanted to speak a bit on the modern ways of preaching Krishna consciousness, and because when Prabhupada preached, he also used modern media. He was eager to go on the radio shows. He was eager to go on TV, and he printed books which needed modern technical equipment. So tax your brain, meaning we should think what are media outlets? How could we, speaking from one point, reach many, many people? As Prabhupada was sitting in his room, writing these books, and then these words were duplicated in mass, and then distributed throughout the whole world, even though he was sitting in one room. So then he used sometimes TV or radio, this and that. So the internet in general offers a wonderful opportunity to sit in one place. We don't have to go to millions of people and to spread the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I myself am using YouTube for doing this. And it's very interesting because I was many years a book distributor in Germany from 2002 until 2012 or 14 more or less. I was just distributing books and traveling through Germany and Austria. And then later some opportunity came. It was not my idea. Actually, I was not taxing my brain. Actually, I was not following Prabhupada's order to really think, what can I do now to increase the preaching? I was very attached to book distribution. I thought nothing else is really so important. I thought this is the only way of preaching Krishna consciousness, more or less. But some or other, Krishna put interesting media into my life, which I could use, and this is called YouTube. Everyone knows YouTube. YouTube is the second largest search engine on the internet after Google. So it's not just for watching videos. People really go on it and search for all kinds of resources and information. And some or other landed up there. And it's very nice. I'm living in a farm in the middle of nowhere. Before I thought farm life, this would be nothing for me or staying there. I want to be in a city and distribute books and have all this, you need this life and activity and this passion. I'm sitting there on a farm. I have a studio. I have a camera in front of me, sometimes completely alone, and I record a video, upload on YouTube, and for German, understanding, many people see it, and I can preach to them, and they get in contact with me, and they write to me and ask questions, and they come to our farm and they join and they buy books, and it's really beautiful to use that. I'm very grateful. But this in the regard of, and then I went into it and found out how does it work and the technical equipment, this and that, and I'm perfectly situated like this. So we all have to find a way how to be nicely situated where we can use our talent but connect it with the preaching mission, with the sharing and communicating and giving Krishna to others. And there are so many ways, but we have to just think about it, how to share Krishna consciousness and follow in Srila Prabhupada's footsteps, who was really thinking, how can I share Krishna consciousness? Nobody was telling Prabhupada to go to America. They were telling him, maybe to England, right? The God brothers were going to London, which was the main city at that time. But Prabhupada understood, no, I have to go to America. This is now what is important. He was thinking, how can he do it and fulfill the desire of his spiritual master? And so in this regard, he always encouraged his disciples, tax your brain, think about it, surrender your life to this mission. Don't worry about anything. You don't have to worry if you surrender completely. As Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, if you surrender, I take care of all your needs. I give you what you need and I preserve what you lack. So these are very interesting times actually for being active in the Hare Krishna movement. Because times are so crazy nowadays, as we see now with this coronavirus stupid thing, making the whole world crazy, and everyone is like really crazy by this stupid media. So, and in general, this is just one craziness going on. People in general are bewildered nowadays. They are bewildered and they are afraid, and at the same time they look for security and shelter, of course. And what is the greatest shelter than Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet? And the times are really, really crazy. Also with this whole conspiracy theories, people are questioning so many things, like most basic things are questioned. And it's a most wonderful time for preaching Krishna consciousness and going into the world and find out how can I communicate Krishna. It's really amazing. And as we all know, as it said, Krishna Shakti Vina Naitar Pravartan, Kali Kali Dharma Krishna Nam Sankirtan, Krishna Shakti Vina Naitar Pravartan. When we surrender to this preaching, Krishna empowers us and does most amazing things, and everyone has the potential to do things which are impossible, normally impossible. And I could see this at times when I was on book distribution, that this is not me, obviously not me. And sometimes it's said that when you distribute many books, you become proud, and you have to be very careful to not be attached and proud, and it's true. But when I distribute many books, and by the end of the day, I was actually very humble, because I could see this was not me, and was very grateful that Krishna did like that. So in that sense, I can see that we can all become instruments, empowered instruments in the movement, and do wonderful things if we just jump over our little comfort zone, our little thing where we think this is important, this is how it should be. And this is not easy, of course, because we are conditioned, have our thinking. So that's the reason why we need good association of devotees who are powerful and amazing and inspired. And this inspires us also. But in general, Mahaprabhu also appeared in a time where preaching was difficult. His whole country was ruled by Muslims. Right? This was also a difficult time, very difficult for preaching. But he, of course, is the Lord, but still, he did not care. He did it. He went out on the street to do Harinam and challenge Chankasi, who was threatening to kill everyone if they chant Hare Krishna. He dared to do this. And also Srila Prabhupada, it was most difficult to do that in his old age, never leaving America, never seeing anything more or less than not India, going to a foreign country. And this amazing story, actually it's such an amazing story, and a proof for Krishna's working through a devotee. So it was not easy there too for him, but he found a way to do it and become extremely successful. So, and we see in so many other devotees nowadays who preach in complicated circumstances, or preached in complicated circumstances, like in Yugoslavia and the war. I know devotees distributing books in Yugoslavia and the war, when there were the soldiers sitting there in their bunker, and someone tapping on their shoulder, and they look and someone handing them a book. Devotees were doing like this, and you think. And I'm for myself, I distribute some books, but I never did something like this. For me, it's like impossible how to do. But they were fired up, and I know a devotee who was in this situation. He said this was the best preaching times. The war, it was our best preaching, and they had huge piles of prasadam. Somehow or other, they got in the war times donations and made huge Sunday feasts. Where I think, how is this possible? So. This is very interesting how we can become empowered and do amazing things. But for this, tax your brain. We have to tax our brain. How can I do something amazing? And everyone has some talent and can do something amazing. And back to my little service, because I was never thinking that this will be possible. My spiritual master always told me, make devotees. Make devotees. And I was a book distributor. And I only wanted to distribute books. And I only knew numbers and scores and statistics. And I was not thinking about, okay, I tried to make devotees. I get a contact on the street from them. I wrote an email to them. I almost never got a reply. And it was like, for me, not frustrating, but I thought, it's not possible. I cannot do that. I can distribute books, but I cannot make devotees. But he always said like this. He never told me, win the marathon or distribute so many thousands of books. He always said, make devotees. And after so many years, suddenly, Krishna gives me this gift of this preaching opportunity. And I realized it later, sometime when it was started to roll, suddenly devotees come. Suddenly this makes devotees. Because now I have more than 700 videos on my YouTube channel, and there are people who watched all of them. And and it's for me amazing, how can you do that? But somehow there are people out who are interested. And if there is an offering, there are also customers. We might think, oh, nobody will be interested in what I'm doing. No, if you have an offering, there will be customers. For sure. You just have to find your audience. And I'm always in Tilak, and until recently I was in Saffron, and Hare Krishna, and like this. And I'm sitting there reading something from Prabhupada's books and explain. Sometimes up to 2 hours. Just like this, and I'm not thinking so much actually about the people, because sometimes I think, well, it's way too long. I'm thinking more about myself, because I like to do that. I can talk about this so long, and I have fun with it. And so there are also people who like that too. And yeah, this is really nice. It's really fun if we see also a result. Of course, it's always said, don't be attached to the result. Yeah, don't be attached to the result, but doesn't mean you should have not a result. There should be a result in our activity, in our whatever service we do. There should be a result. But of course, we shouldn't be attached, and we should not think that we are the doers. Krishna blesses us with the result. But still, we should work for a result. If we are a cook, we should care that it tastes. Of course, but it's not that we become proud, I'm the best cook, but we should care that it tastes for the Lord and for the devotees. In the same way, when we are preaching, as we say preaching, or communicating, or informing, or however you want to call it, want to give Krishna to others, we want to see also that they take Krishna. And what is more beautiful than someone takes Krishna and becomes a devotee? And you were somehow instrumental a bit that this person becomes a devotee. So this is very wonderful. So we should, and also another saying, isn't it, that Prabhupada said, think big. Prabhupada said, think big. But then he also said, and do it. Not just think big. Right? This is determination in ignorance. To only daydream about what I will do, and I have this wonderful plan, and will be so powerful, and so many ideas. But by the end of the day, I eat a little bit more sabji and go to sleep. And I dream more about how wonderful I will be, on my plans. So think big and do it. And in one sense, we cannot think big enough. And then we should pray a lot to become empowered and to do really something substantial for the movement. I'm trying to, and praying that I can be helpful in this regard. And yeah, it's most important that we can do something substantial for the movement. Prabhupada always told us that most important is Prabhupada's instruction, or his question. How many books you distribute, how many temples you open, how many devotees you make. Like 3, most important questions we should ask ourselves. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, of course, many other things are important too. We should minimize. And I want to definitely stress also, maybe a 4th question, how much do you see becoming a devotee? Because we should not only measure our success in the externals, which are not necessarily only externals, right? But this is also most important, that we see how much do I actually become a devotee. Because I also, as a book distributor, I know I can come on a huge ego trip of being a wonderful book distributor, just having the numbers on the sheet and the scores. But do we really see becoming devotees? Meaning become humble and appreciating others and grateful and having taste for the holy name and having taste for Prabhupada's katha and books and all that. Yeah. But back to these 3 questions. So how, this is, I think it's a nice measurement of us being instrumental in the movement. How many temples we opened? Some, I never opened a temple, so I cannot say, but some of us opened a temple, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 maybe. There were times where devotees were focused on that. And most amazing, most glorious. Or building temples now in India, right? So many temples built. There are probably a couple of devotees, they have built many temples. So how many books did you distribute? Yeah. How many books did I distribute? And how many devotees did I make? So there might be more to be substantial in the movement, but this is already something. And then we should tax our brain. Okay, I haven't distributed any books. Okay, how can I distribute books? I did not open any temple or preaching center. How could I do that? How can I help? How can I help? It's also not that we should think I'm the only one doing all that. How can I connect with a team of devotees or a devotee who is doing that and helping them? Like for our preaching in Germany and my work on YouTube, it's not that I make devotees through this. If we wouldn't have the temple where they can come, this would be also useless. I might contact them, inform them, bring them to the temple. But because we have a nice mood in the temple, a nice family spirit, a nice sadhana also, we have like, I don't know, but we have like 40 devotees in the community. It's not so big, but like almost everyone comes to Mangalarti. Somehow or other, it's like the focus there and everyone comes. So when new people come, they come naturally to the Mangalarti. It's a culture. And this is most important. So if there wouldn't be the temple and this nice atmosphere, where can I send them to? And sometimes I have to say honestly, if someone writes to me, I'm from this and that area, and I know there is a temple, but I know I cannot send them there. I cannot tell, oh, really nice, go to this temple. I know I cannot. Because there is not the right mood or atmosphere, right? Or there's nobody who can take care. Maybe they are nice devotees, but there is no one who can take care of new people. It's also difficult. Anyway, I didn't want to speak so much about that now. Actually, I want to speak more about the Leela, but somehow I came too quickly into this topic. Yeah, so tax your brain. And there are so many opportunities, back to this point nowadays. And Prabhupada used everything he could, and it's really nice and it's fun to preach, to share, and to use what Prabhupada gave us, this present, this valuable gift, what Prabhupada gave us, this wonderful process, which is happily performed. Every aspect of Krishna consciousness is happily performed. What is not happily performed in Krishna consciousness? Everything is nice. Am I too fanatic or something? Everything is nice. But somehow or other it is. Yeah, it's so beautiful. And yeah, we should share this. Yeah, this is more or less what I want to say. It's a great honor, of course, to say something here. And it came to me 2 days ago that I was invited to speak, so maybe I was a little bit overwhelmed. I'm not shy on the Vyasa-san, but still on this situation. This situation definitely is something very, very special for me. So I'm very grateful to sit here, and also grateful for all the senior Vaishnavas to sit here. I was not looking at you, not because of disrespect, but just maybe a little bit nervous. Sorry, focus on here. Sorry for that. Yeah, so I'm very grateful that I could say something. And whenever you want to come to Germany, to Simhachalam, to a farm community, come. Very soon we will have the birthday of Lord Nrsingadev, which is celebrated in a grand style there. 5-6 Swamis initiating gurus come there, and we have like 400 or 500 people come, and Nrsingadev in the center. It's very beautiful. And I do also workshops if I have the opportunity for YouTube preaching. If someone wants to know how I do it, of course, there are devotees who are like really amazing, who do way more than myself, of course, but if someone wants to know something about that, I offer this too. I have now almost 3,000 subscribers, but they're all in German. I focus on German, right? English, there's so much, but only in German. And most of all the devotees we have now in Simhacham, our temple, come somehow or other through this. Somehow or other, this is really, really nice. Bhaktas joining and going on Sankirtan and helping the temple. It's really, really nice. And one friend of mine, I wanted to share that, just for those who want to find me on YouTube, a little advertisement, Ananda Krishna. Just like this, Ananda Krsna, Ananda Krishna, to find me. I have also maybe 60, 70, no, maybe 50 videos in English. And one friend of mine, he is in Mayapur, living in Mayapur, he has also a YouTube channel. And until last week, he had 800 subscribers. And he does something in English about Mayapur Gurukul and make really nice videos about the Gurukul, showing how they live, how his son goes to Gurukul. Nicely made, like kind of documentary style. And his wife, she's like a professional speaker. She has a real good voice and she can read ebooks. She read some ebooks for the BBT. And she tells stories for children on the channel. And he had like 800 subscribers. But some or other, in 2 weeks, not even 2 weeks, people came onto it, especially Indians, and now he has like more than 20,000 subscribers. Just like that. Yeah. And in general, I see this for the preaching. We think, oh, on book distribution was the same. You push, you push, you push, you push, and nothing goes. You stand in the rain, you stand in the cold, nobody takes a book, and you think you will give up, it doesn't work. Just keep on pushing, and suddenly Krishna opens the door and books fly out. Isn't it? Everyone who went on book distribution has so often had this experience. Krishna wants to test you, wants to see your determination. Keep on going. Don't lose faith. Yeah. And sometimes we lost faith, and sometimes I went back to the van and took a good nap after some nice prasad. I cannot, it's too much. But very often it worked. And so we should always push, always keep on pushing, and we never know when the door opens. Like for Prabhupada, the same. He pushed, he pushed, he pushed so much. And until he was really old, and even when he was in America, he kept on pushing. And suddenly, the explosion came. So I saw this because I'm doing this YouTube work since 5 years, and he does it maybe 2 years. And now he's like exploding. And he reached so many people. So I also see this like this, I have to keep on pushing. But this for every service what we do. We should always keep on pushing, and have Prabhupada as this great example, that he always kept on pushing, and always faith in his spiritual master. He was never wavering. He was never losing determination. It's so amazing. It's especially in opposition we might think, I have to give up, but we should some or other not give up with anything connected with Krishna. Either our own spiritual life or in our preaching. And even though it's tough, and even though you think everything falls on your head and you cannot do it anymore, some or other we have to stick to it and keep on pushing. And miracles happen. As I said, I never met really devotees, but suddenly so many people come. So many for German understanding, and not for Indian. Then you think, what is he talking about? Like India is like, this is different category, but for our little German field. So it's very interesting. It's very nice. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you so much for your really kind attention. Thank you for tolerating me. And I heard one thing in a rhetoric seminar, you should never say you were not prepared, or I'm sorry, I'm not qualified. In a rhetoric seminar I heard like this, you never say that, but now I have to really say I was a little intimidated by the situation, a little bit not perfectly prepared, but I'm thanking you very much that you stayed with it. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Very nice Sankirtan class. No, this is Lord Chaitanya's mission, and Lord Chaitanya came to Jaganath Misra's festival, is reminding us of the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came to give us the Kirtan of Krishnasya Sangha. And the Kirtan, the chanting, the book distribution is Prabhupada did, we should also do. He's recorded an early interview of Dayas Prabhupada. What have you come to teach people? Or, what have you come to do? He goes, I don't perform any magic. I just chant the holy name of the Lord and help people understand the purpose and goal of life. Also, Ananda Prabhu, everyone knows the Kirtaniya, who had great determination to broadcast the message and importance of the holy name on the internet. Back in, many years ago when the internet was not really visible. And so it's amazing that he had that vision that we should use our brain, we should use our intelligence and determination to spread Krishna consciousness in any way possible, whether using YouTube or whatnot. That's why we have the digital broadcasting, so many kirtans and so many wonderful lectures. The whole world can hear about the holy name of Lord Chaitanya's mission. But you brought back memories, because also many of us did Sankirtan for many, many years. And it's a fire that kind of forces you to beat the mind and surrender and force yourself, in one sense, to be out of your comfort zone, to be on the street and deal with the elements, and deal with the people, and deal with your own mind. So it's a very purifying process, the Sankirtan Yajna. So whether you're preaching behind YouTube or on the streets, in the temple, on the farm, we should continue on. I thought I'd just compliment your Sankirtan ideas.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry, someone mentioned I should speak about the Leela, and I did a bit, but someone slipped into...
It's all the Sankirtan, that is the Leela.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay. I think there's some question.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. My question is, out of those many viewers, how many people actually become devotees?
Oh. Yeah, that's hard to say, but...
He wants numbers now.
Numbers, okay. I like numbers. I like statistics, and I have my Google statistic, YouTube... Anyways, but... numbers.
No.
Let's say like this. I've every day like normally 1,000 clicks, and every click has like 15 minutes watch time. 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah? So meaning everyone who clicks hears me speak 10-15 minutes. So this is one number. Another number is how to say like this. I helped with this, that now in Simhachalam we have like, I don't know, maybe 10 to 20 devotees who came through this. Yeah, something like this. No? And then also many people visit the temple because of getting informed. And nice thing is also that people who never were in contact with Krishna consciousness get to learn about Krishna. And how to say, if they like you or me in that situation, they always watch the videos because some already like, and there's so much, not everyone likes my persona, presentation, and okay, they watch something else or get somewhere else the information, but some appreciate and like, and they're like your fans, and they always watch, and they all really take that serious. So it's not just how many join, but who sits at home and really listens, and this is a lot. And and they write to me, and they order books, Bhagavatam sets. Yesterday again, someone ordered a Bhagavatam set. I distributed 2 or 3 Bhagavatam sets on the street in like 12 years of book distribution. 2, 3. And now I distribute maybe 50, 60, 70 Bhagavatam sets in German. So it's complete difference. But the thing is that you have a relationship with people. And they really, if the presentation, I try to make it as pure as possible and to honest as possible and also personal. They really appreciate this, and so many write to me, thank you so much, I'm sitting in the middle of nowhere, I have no devotees, nothing, but this is the only thing I have. So this is very pleasing, that you are valuable and have some worth for someone's life. And in that sense, I don't think so much about numbers, how many, but if there are only 10, 15, 20 people who really seriously listen to that and get Prabhupada's books, I want to that they really get connected with Prabhupada as much as I can, then I think it's worth it. And anyways, much more than I would be satisfied with, so I'm very grateful.
one more thing. How do you actually approach people? I mean, suppose if you are presenting a video, you actually...
If you wanna, let's do like this. If you want to know details, we can talk after the class. I can tell you a couple of things, but there are other questions. Is okay? I can tell you a couple of things what I do, because I have many things, so... Okay?
Straight on. Make your son. All the way up.
Hare Krishna. Can you share your experience for establishing a farm community? Because some people contacted me, they wanted to donate land to ISKCON. They contacted the local temple also, but because of lack of strength of devotees, we could not put those lands to any use. So after some time, those people may become disinterested also. So there was huge chunk of 2-3 lands which people wanted to donate, but we don't know what use to make it.
I'm just living there, but I'm not a farmer. You know, I'm a different kind of guy, so I have nothing to do with the cows and the farm. I only see them from far away. I don't say I'm afraid of them, but I like them. They might like me also, but so I know nothing about that. So this probably you speak with devotees who really know how to set up a farm, and especially in India and donating land. I think there are other devotees who can give you professional advice. But I appreciate that you asked. Good. Yeah. Then that's it. Again, thank you so much for your attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Brahmanande.
I'm interested in many things you